The following information is provided for educational purposes only, and in no way constitutes legal, tax, or financial advice. For legal, tax, or financial advice specific to your business needs, we encourage you to consult with a licensed attorney and/or CPA in your state. The following information is copyright protected. No part of this lesson may be redistributed, copied, modified, or adapted without prior written consent of the author. In this video, we will discuss filing your certificate of publication. Please make sure your ads have run for 6 consecutive weeks and that you have received both affidavits of publication before proceeding with this lesson. After your ads have run for 6 consecutive weeks, you will then need to provide proof to the state that you've met the newspaper publication requirement. You do this by filing what's called a certificate of publication. We know this might sound confusing since you recently received affidavits of publication, but this is a separate document required by the state. You will need to mail this document along with the required filing fee of $50. We will show you how to complete this form in just a few minutes. Along with your certificate of publication, you must send the state a copy of both affidavits of publication that you received from the newspapers. Most newspapers will automatically mail you an affidavit of publication shortly after your ads have run. However, if they did not, you will simply need to call or email the newspapers to obtain your affidavits before proceeding. As noted, we will walk you through preparing your certificate of publication in just a minute. You will need to mail the state your completed certificate of publication along with both affidavits of publication and the $50 filing fee. Once you mail these documents to the state, this completes the entire newspaper publication requirement. You will find the accepted forms of payment and the address where to send your documents to listed below this video. The state will not send you a receipt once they get your documents, so we recommend keeping a copy of your canceled check or your money order receipt as proof of payment. If you've used our strategy and hired Northwest Registered Agent in order to borrow their Albany County address, you have one last thing to do, and that's to change your address. After you have mailed your certificate of publication, along with the affidavits of publication to the state, we recommend you wait approximately 2 months before changing your address. This gives the state plenty of time to process your certificate of publication. After the 2 months have passed, you can then change your address back to your LLC's actual office address. You do this by filing what's called a certificate of change and paying a $30 filing fee. If you need to do this, please watch the certificate of change lesson once you have mailed the state the certificate of publication and waited 2 months. Once you've changed your address, don't worry, New York does not require that you publish new ads if you change your address again. You only have to meet this requirement once. If you did not hire Northwest Registered Agent and use our strategy and you just published your newspaper ads in your own county, this section will not apply to you and you will not need to do any address change. Again, we know that this newspaper publication requirement is a little crazy and tedious, but it is New York law. The good news is that you only have to do this once and it is not an ongoing requirement. Once you file your certificate of publication with the affidavits of publication and pay the $50 filing fee, you have fulfilled the newspaper publication requirement. We will now walk you through completing your certificate of publication. You can download this form below the video. Let's get started. Here we are looking at the certificate of publication document. Again, you can download this form below this video. I'm just going to use a sample company as I demonstrate how to fill out this document. At the top, where it says Certificate of Publication of, you're going to enter the name of your LLC. I've entered the name of this sample company. In the next section, it says the undersigned is the, check the appropriate box. You're going to check off member, since you are the member of this LLC, and where it says of, you're going to list the name of your LLC again. Next, it says if the name of the limited liability company has changed, the name under which it was organized is, you can leave that blank since you haven't done a name change. Next, the articles of organization were filed with the Department of State on, You can get this date on your filing receipt, which is the receipt that you received back from the state after your LLC was approved. I'm just going to use 12/1/2014 for this example. Next, it simply says that the attached affidavits of publication meet the New York law section 206 for the newspaper publication requirement. And then you're certifying that you've published your ads and you've met the requirement. Under here, you're going to go ahead and list the date, and then you're going to print your name. Then, when you print out this form, you're going to sign on this line. I've filled in a sample date and a name here, just for example purposes. Next, let's scroll down to page 2. At the top of this, it says Certificate of Publication of. You're going to enter your LLC name again. Next, under Filed By, you're going to list your name and your mailing address and the city, state, and zip. Alright, after I've filled that out, there's nothing else we need to do. That completes page 2. So what you'll need to do is print this out. You're going to mail this form here, the Certificate of Publication, and you're going to include both of your affidavits of publication. Now, we mentioned earlier that we recommend making copies of both affidavits of publication before you send those into the state. So in total, you're going to send them this form here, the Certificate of Publication, both of the affidavits of publication, and the $50 filing fee. The accepted forms of payment and the address where to send these documents to are listed below this video. Once you mail these documents to the state, there's nothing else you need to do for the newspaper publication requirement. You're now finished. And that completes the Certificate of Publication lesson.